Here at the Brave New Teaching Podcast, we are always looking for the newest, most engaging, and fantastic books for you, the teachers, to step up your game and enhance your practice. And we have a brand new book recommendation for you that we just couldn't wait for an entire episode to share. If you are looking for a professional development book that's going to serve you over this winter break, or maybe even as a gift to a fellow educator, we have got your next recommendation. You need to check out Roll Call by Dr. Jenna Copper. As you know, Dr. Jenna Copper is one of the greatest friends we have over here at the podcast. You have downloaded her interview with Marie almost more than any other episode. So I know that a lot of you have heard Jenna and her work and what she's up to. So not only should you listen to that episode, but you need to check out Jenna's brand new book. This book is phenomenal. And as you know, Dr. Copper is an education professor and former English teacher. So she's in everything from teaching students to teaching teachers. And she has written the ultimate guide to creating lessons that will really and truly captivate your students while still meeting those all-important standards. This book, Roll Call, is packed with practical strategies and innovative ideas that will transform your classroom. And for a very special bonus time, Jenna is offering an exclusive perspective plan toolkit absolutely free when you purchase Roll Call. It's going to be so awesome, and you are going to love all of the new ideas that you get. You can buy Jenna's book right now on Amazon. So head over to Amazon.com. Find your copy of Roll Call, and then once you have your order, you're going to go to rollcallbonus.com. That's ROLECALLBONUS.com, Roll Call Bonus, or head to today's show notes and claim your free perspective plan toolkit. It's a freebie right now when she's launching her book for the very first time. It's not going to linger around for very long. Your students will thank you, and you're going to thank you, because this is going to make you feel good about teaching and really amp up your energy. We're so excited for you to read it yourselves and let us know what you think. Talk to you soon and enjoy the show.
Well, hello and welcome back to Brave New Teaching. Hello, Amanda. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Marie. Hello.
Hello and Happy New Year, everybody out there. We are very excited to be back for 2025. And we've got some, the new part of Brave New Teaching. We are constantly not reconfiguring completely, but just evolving to keep up with the times. You wouldn't think that an old stalwart like education would change as much as it does, but especially since 2020, when we started this podcast, things just keep on changing and yet also staying the same. So we're excited to bring some new formats and things to the Brave New Teaching community.
I am listening to you talk about this and I'm like laughing at myself because it's true. And I feel like I'm kind of predisposed to wanting to always do all things new and refreshed and
same. That's, yeah.
But I feel like that's still recovering, but we're still recovering from when I feel like when 2020 hit, it was like how I cleaned my room. Like I just shoved everything in the closet.
1000%.
And
yes.
had to just, right, like, so I'm slowly cleaning out that closet. So of all the things we're going to share in this series, the title is like new, right? We're thinking about new in the new year. But the more I brainstormed things on this list, the more I was thinking about how I'm actually going to be resurrecting some old things, but with a new focus and like it's going to get a new place in the house, right? It's going to get a new home.
Sure.
And a new intentions.
Some things are going to get given away.
Some are going to get
some things are going to Goodwill. It's going to be great. Yeah. Well, friends, today we've got the beginning of our 2025 episodes coming to you. And today is like a new year, new books and authors, and just kind of a new, what we're doing with reading this year.
And it's
It
exciting
is.
because every year that we do these, it just gets more, and there are more and more books to read.
There are more
Can
and
you
more
believe
books
it?
to read, and like there are more and more people to talk to about the books that we are reading, including the people
It's
who wrote the
amazing.
books. And that just gets us so happy.
I have a lot of goals for this year. I told Marie that I have a couple of hills that I am absolutely going to sacrifice myself for. I will die on the hill. I will get Saba to hear
It's
on
true.
this podcast.
It's true.
I have made that promise many times and I'm still working on it. In fact,
2025
I
is your
even
year.
asked
Yeah.
Ruta Sapetes, my buddy, when I saw her in Wisconsin a little while ago. I said, "What's her deal? Why won't Saba get back to me?" She laughed and said, "I know her person." So we're working on it. Okay? We're
It's going to
working
be
on
a
it.
good year. We're excited.
I want my Saba.
All right, friends. You know what? You know what time it is. If you have been around the podcast for a while, you know what time it is. And if you are new here, welcome. And it is time to cue the music.
You're listening to Brave New Teaching, and we are so much more than a podcast.
We give teachers the inspiration, support, and tools to challenge the status quo.
I'm Amanda, and I'm a former English teacher from Illinois.
And I'm Marie, and I'm a high school teacher from Southern California.
Join us after the show and happy hour to extend your BNT experience with instant access to our resources, workshops, and courses.
Visit shop.bravenewteaching.com/happy hour to join us today. We're so glad you're here. Enjoy the show. Okay. So, Amanda, let's talk a little bit about our how we are going to individually approach reading. This isn't going to be so much books for your classroom. I mean, I don't know. Some of these will a couple that I have will absolutely influence teachers, especially in secondary. But this is more to do with nourishing the person that's standing in front of the students teaching, and the way that we do that by and large, Brave New Teaching is through reading and talking about what we're reading. So let's talk about ourselves. What are you going to do with reading this year, my friend?
Well, I will do a 15-second recap for new listeners, which is I used to not really be able to even have this conversation because I used to feel so overwhelmed that I didn't read. And a lot has changed for me in the last 2 years, I think. And so the first thing I'm doing is setting up some reading goals for myself, which I used to think were kind of pretentious to begin with. I thought it was weird how people would brag about these big numbers and they would just talk. And now that I've been through it a couple of times, I love setting reading goals. And so my goal for 2025 is to read 80 books this year.
Damn, girl. Okay.
I did read 70 last
Oh,
year.
wow.
Well, and that's the reaction that I don't like, right? For me, it's not about that. That number is more about when I have a big crazy number, it forces me to fill in the empty parts, right, of my day with reading and to keep on top of my list. I mean, that's really all it is. I have a lot of dead time. Not a lot. I wouldn't say a lot, but I definitely have dead time where I fill it with books, and it's awesome, and it's totally made a difference in my mental health. Rather than staring into space when I'm washing dishes, I have something ready. And when I have a big number, it helps motivate me to push play maybe to wash the dishes.
And that dead time is not true dead time, but it's things like washing dishes or waiting in the pickup line at school, right? It's those sorts of things. Yeah. And so you're just filling them with where otherwise you might have stopped what you're doing and started scrolling. This is filling with things that are nourishing.
That is it.
Yeah.
It's also with that high of a number and being in this profession, one of my goals for this year is to read more books of poetry and more young adults and middle grades books.
Okay.
Really short ones, because now I'm doing a lot more work at elementary schools, and my kids are getting a little bit older, so I kind of want to have my foot a little bit more firmly planted in that fourth through eighth grade. And so those are easier to get through.
They are.
When we're talking.
No, they totally are. And as the mom of my kids, if you haven't been around here for a while, my kids are older than Amanda's kids. Hers are 5 and 6, and mine are 8 and 11. And so we are close, but also where she's at, I'm oh no, I was there. Yeah. Try this. But there are so many good books coming out for young readers that it's hard to keep up with. And that is a very fun and exciting problem to have, I think.
It is.
Yes.
And so I think between I have a reading goal. So my reading goal is 80. And then we started a new book club in addition to the book club I'm already
Oh, that's so
in.
fun.
The one I'm already in, there's like a lot of drama these days.
Girl, I want to hear all
So
about it, but maybe that's like
I'm
a happy
careful.
hour video that
Yeah,
we'll post in the happy hour community. Don't you guys
true,
want to hear about
true.
all the tea? Because I do. Am I just the only
I bet
messy one? It's
it's
fine.
good. It's good tea.
Yeah.
But our new club is really exciting because it's more, each person takes a month, and basically there's two choices they make. They choose the book of the month, but they also pick a challenge for the month. And then as a member, you can either read the book choice or do the challenge. If you're crazy, you can do both.
Ooh.
So mine, I'm going first in January. So my kind of like theme for the month is books from our childhood. And so my book pick is A Wrinkle in Time.
So
So you
fun.
can either read A Wrinkle in Time or a book from your childhood that you'd love to revisit.
That's
So
so
everyone kind of has the
fun.
flexibility to kind of choose or do something together. And either way, we all have something to talk about.
That's
And then it rotates. Everyone's month is going to be different.
such a
So
you
yeah,
book club.
social.
I love
I know.
that. That is such a
I'm in
you book
charge.
club.
I'm in charge. No, it's
I want
okay.
to start a family book club with my kids. We're getting
I love
closer to the
that.
point where I think my daughter, like, so again, for those of us who aren't in the know, my youngest, my 8-year-old has dyslexia, and so she is making huge leaps in her reading progress. Um, and she just doesn't necessarily always want to listen to an audiobook because like that is my solution to a lot of things. And she sometimes is just like I can't pay attention to that right now. She gets a little overstimulated,
Yeah.
especially when there's like downtime. It's the end of the day and she's just done. But she's getting to a point where she's starting to be able to hold her own a little bit more with reading. And so I think that my two kids and I could have a little book club of sorts. We'll see. I don't know. It
Oh,
might be, it's probably too early to start at the beginning of the year, but maybe like summer would be cool.
I love that
Thank
idea.
you.
You could have camp,
I know. I freaking
book
love it.
camp.
Well, one of the things that she is giving, my daughter is giving my son, her brother, for Christmas is she made him this little like spinner wheel on a poster board, and all of the little like pie pieces basically on the spinner are activities they can do together. And like three of them have to
Oh,
do with reading. And I was like, she's got it. She's got the bug. She is one of us. It was this like really
oh,
nerdy English teacher mom excitement that I had going on, but it was like reading fort, reading picnic. And so yeah, it's the thing where you like put a pencil down in the middle and then like spin a
I love it.
around, and she made it for him, and it's so cute.
That's stinking
It's pretty
adorable.
chaotic, but it's so cute, you know?
We will be requiring photos of
Oh,
that on
absolutely.
Instagram.
And then she wrapped it in this box that like I don't even remember what came in it, but it is humongous. She goes, he's gonna be so confused. I was like, in more ways than you think. Yes,
We have called her an evil genius more than
she's
once.
she is. Okay, let's list some of the books on our TBRs for
I want to hear some of yours
Okay,
first.
fine. I will tell you three, and then the last one I'm going to hold for a surprise. Two of them are actually nonfiction, which is so not my jam most of the time.
No.
But one is all about finances. It is called Financial Feminist, and it is by a creator that I follow on Instagram, TikTok, I can't remember, but her name's Tori Dunlap, and she's the founder of Her First 100K, and that's like her
I
handle.
know
Yeah,
who
you know what
she
I'm talking here.
yeah,
Look, if I
yeah.
show it to you, yeah.
Yep, yep.
And so, financial feminist, overcome the patriarchy's BS to master your money and build a life you love. I just feel like I need a little kick in the pants to get on top of some, financial things. And so, this is going to
Okay.
be one of my early 2025 reads.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the other
Yeah.
nonfiction one I've actually shared on my Instagram before, and then I never picked it back up because like the fall started and everything hit the fan. But it's called This Is So Awkward, Modern Puberty Explained
I love it.
by Kara Natterson, MD, and Vanessa Kroll Bennett. And
Amazing.
it's a bright yellow cover with a thing of deodorant on it that says covers kids ages 8 through 18. And I was like, that's literally, I am surrounded by kids 8 through 18.
You
in
are.
every living moment of every day. So here we are.
It's a joy. It's a joy.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. So those are my two. That's my beginning. Okay, what you got?
Okay, so I have no nonfiction on my list, but
What?
I do have
Weird reversal of the two of us.
okay, we're only sharing a handful
Okay, that's
today.
true. Okay, that's
Okay.
true. That's fine.
My plug is if you didn't listen back in 2024, if you'd like to see my whole list, we should be friends on
That's
Fable.
true.
I know some of you have gone ahead and downloaded the app because I've heard from you. You're like, oh my gosh, it's so awesome. Because it is. But I do have a historical fiction on here. So we have our friend Ashley. She edits the podcast, so she gets to hear all of these episodes like up close and personal. And so sometimes she'll send me a message and be like, "Okay, I just edited this episode, and I have some recommendations for you." So
It
two
is the
are
best.
recommendations from Ashley. The first is "The Goddess of Warsaw" by Lisa Barr. She said that's the historical fiction. It's definitely more of like an adult
Yeah.
version of what Ruta does. She's like, if you love Ruta, I think you'd really love this one. Let's see if I can give you the overview. So it's an enthralling historical fiction set in World War II Warsaw, revealing a Hollywood actress's past as a Jewish spy. Secrets, sacrifices, and vengeance fuel this gripping tale of survival.
That is right up your alley.
And it was released in 2024. So
Okay.
this is 2025, but it's a relatively new
Yeah,
one.
we like that. Yeah, yeah.
Right. The other one that Ashley recommended, and I take Ashley's recommendations very seriously.
1,000%. Yes.
This one was laugh out loud funny, which always makes me nervous.
I know,
because
because you're like, what if I'm heartless and I don't think things are funny? I know, it's the worst.
Laugh.
What if I don't laugh?
The novel is called Sandwich by Catherine Newman.
Okay.
And it's the summary is it's a family summer vacation with secrets, laughter, and life lessons on Cape Cod. Emotional, funny, and relatable. It's a moving tale of growth and acceptance by the sea. And now Ashley's recommendation was a lot better, I think, than that summary. She said it's definitely something that you will like laugh, cry over as a mom, sister, daughter kind of experience. So those are the two recs from Ashley that I'm really pumped about, and I have currently waiting on my Libby. They're waiting. I'm waiting to get them delivered. They're actually pretty popular. Yeah, so those are two of mine. Do you want me to do my other ones before we go back to your surprise book?
No. Well, no, I have one that's not a surprise.
Oh, that one's also on my list too. So we can talk about this one.
I have one that's completely not a surprise because it's a fantasy. It is the third in the Fourth Wing series called Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. And I'm looking right now. Have they announced a release date yet?
I thought it was late January.
Is it late January?
Well, look on Amazon.
I am.
That's
I'm trying. I pre-ordered this sucker.
Right.
Like, wait, where is it? Not yet shipped.
January 21st.
January 21st. Oh.
Yep. So not yet. It's coming. Yeah.
It's gonna be so late. Okay. Anyways,
did you get the deluxe limited edition with the sprayed edges?
Yes, I did.
Just making sure.
Because that was the only option I had at the time, and I did not know that that's what I got until you said it out loud, and I recognized that those were the words I was reading on the screen.
That's what we need in our life.
I'm all in.
Sorry, my computer's trying to verify that it's me.
Your computer also wants
the
deluxe limited edition. Yeah, so I am very, very excited about that, and I think that I am going to probably start a reread if I have to wait that long of the other two, so that I'm refreshed.
That sounds pretty solid.
It does, doesn't it? Because I am not a slow reader. I am a too fast reader, and I am a stay up till 2 a.m. and then teach the next day reader, which is not wise. It's a terrible idea. I don't do it on purpose.
But you do it.
But I am 41, so it's not like I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I'm not new to the world. So, like, suck it up, lady. You're supposed to be responsible. But I'm like, no.
You just need to live in the present moment.
Dragons.
Don't worry about that.
I love them.
Here are my last two that I'll mention for today that I'm excited about. One is by an author that I've read before. I really have gotten better about like reading multiple books from the same author. Jas Hammonds. She wrote "We Deserve Monuments."
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so she's got another one. It's kind of about sorority hazing.
Oh, God.
and it looks really good. Is that not selling it for you?
Well, I think just because I was in a sorority.
Okay, so join Blake on a risky journey of ambition and self-discovery as she navigates the high-stakes world of the mysterious Serena Society, testing loyalty and identity. So there's
okay.
something involving the water and swimming and
okay, I'm gonna let you read that first.
Mm-hmm. I know it looks good, but like We Deserve Monuments was definitely YA, and this does not read.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. It says it's a junior library guild selection, so maybe.
Well, I don't know.
I guess we'll find out. But it says she's like a former loner from a working class background, so she lacks the pedigree and confidence of the other sorority girls and try to find courage, blah, blah, blah. So looks good. I loved her other stuff. Last one is a turn from all that.
Yeah.
Have you read anything from R.F. Kuang?
I've read this one.
You read Poppy War?
Yeah.
How is it?
It is good. It is. Are you going to read it, or are you going to listen to it?
I'm probably going to listen to it because it's 544 pages.
Dense. It's one of those fantasies that is dense until you get into it and acclimated. Do you know what I mean?
It is one of Time Magazine's 100 best fantasy books of all time.
It's phenomenal. It just takes a minute. Yes.
Well, I feel like I've arrived.
It's also kind of dark. Like, it's kind of rough.
It also says dark. Yes. It says adventurous, dark, and fantasy.
Like, I had to read it in parts, and I'm not one to read things in parts because it was just like, I was like, oh, I need a minute. I'm waking up sad. Like,
I don't know why. Like, I feel like January, like start of the year, is my time to read those kinds of books. Like,
there you go.
Well, the really, really long ones, I should say. Like, that's when I remember I read Barack Obama's book. Oh my gosh, the super long one. I read Demon Copperhead in like January, February. I'm looking forward to it for this time of year. I don't know if it's like the escape.
Yeah.
Because of how miserable life is here in January. But
probably.
Poppy War is it. So if you don't know what we're talking about, the Poppy War is a brilliant fantasy debut set in a rich historical military world inspired by China's past. So you're following Rin's journey filled with magic, treachery, and the looming threat of war.
It's really good.
So
yeah.
The Poppy War is next. Well, I've read Yellowface by R.F.
Yeah.
And I did not love it. And that's, I think, a little blasphemous in some circles. People really, really loved that book.
I haven't read it.
I wasn't a huge fan.
Okay. No, I mean, I liked Poppy War quite a bit.
But Yellowface is not fantasy at all. It's it's like realistic fiction. And it has a main character that you're supposed to hate. And I just hated her so much.
That you were like uncomfortable reading it. Yeah.
But I was so mad. And like, she was well written, but I was pissed. So anyway.
Okay, listen.
Yeah, so that's
my
I want to know the surprise book on your list.
You're going to have to wait till next week's episode because I want to keep this one short and I want to, leave them wanting more. Seriously. And everybody, you have to come back next week because I'm going to make Amanda look up the cover of this and I can't wait to get her reaction.
All right. All right. Well, let me remind if we're ending, let me remind Happy Hour members, make sure you guys check your email, make sure that you guys log into our community. There are all kinds of new tools and digital fun things because we're working this month on digital organization and prepping and planning for our backwards planning time of the year. So I made some digital stickers that you can put on your Trello board. We have new Trello boards. There's new kind of stuff all over the place. So make sure that you guys dive in and get into all of your new materials for January.
Yes, and if you're not yet a member of Happy Hour, join us. Go to the show notes, head to bravenewteaching.com/happy hour. So many different places you can find us. Join us because like Amanda said, we're getting our stuff organized this month. That is it. We have restructured Happy Hour to be like a work club, as I'm sure we've already said in this episode. So I cannot wait because it's what I need as a classroom teacher. And so I know that that's what you need too. But without any further ado, friends, thank you so much for joining us. Let us know your book recs and picks for the beginning of the year, and let's get reading together and talk about it. It's so fun. And I'll tell you what my other book is next week. We'll see you then. Bye.
Thanks again for listening to Brave New Teaching.
We'd love to keep the conversation going over on Instagram.
And while you're there, check out the links in our bio for the most up-to-date events going on in Happy Hour and the Brave New Teaching community.
Thanks for being here and have a great week at school.